There's a new Hyundai Ioniq 5. It's actually pretty cool, and it comes with an XRT trim. Here are all the details for the 2025 model and whether or not I think you should actually consider buying one. I'll tell you the truth, because I want to do this more often, just tell you whether or not I would buy it or whether I recommend you buy it depending on what your needs are. Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. Great to have you with us. If you'd like to support the channel, become a YouTube member. You can get access to some videos that are not on the main channel. I'll put a link in the description below to that page. Now also guys, for those of you who haven't yet, here in Australia, there are some new cars coming out. The Xpeng G6 is about to be out pretty soon. Approximate price for the long range version is $60,000. That includes, well, there's no options, 20-inch rims. If you want those, it comes with those. And I have pre-ordered. So if you'd like to as well, I don't make any money out of this, to be clear, but you do get a free charger and installation of that charger if you order through my link, which is kind of exciting that I've got that deal for you guys. So I'll put a link in the description below. And yeah, you can click it. By the way, it is a refundable pre-order. Hyundai have introduced the facelifted Ioniq 5. This will be the first car manufactured in the United States in Georgia at their Meta plant. Don't know why they call it the Meta plant, but anyway, it's the Meta plant. This means the model will qualify for a $3,750 tax credit. The only way to get the full $7,500 is if you lease it. And the reason is because I believe the battery cells themselves are not manufactured in the United States. Anyhow, it's made in America. That's good news. It gets a light refresh. New bumpers, revised spoiler, new wheels that are more aerodynamic, which is a good thing. Buyers will also get other choices for colors. You've got Atlas White Matte, Ecotronic Grey Matte, Celadon Grey Matte. Those are in addition to the existing colors that you can already buy. Interior changes. There's a new steering wheel, an updated center console, revised switchgear that includes physical buttons for frequently used features. There's also additional standard equipment, which varies on which model you get. However, there's a new variant that is, I like it. I really like it. It's called the XRT. It looks a little bit like a Subaru Crosstrek. Anyway, it looks like an off-road, slightly more off-road version of the Hyundai Ioniq 5. So what does it get? Well, black plastic. I normally don't really like black plastic that much, but I'd get this in black. I think that would work well. Yeah, anyhow, black plastic. With the black plastic, I think different with other colors. I think it's too much black plastic. Anyhow, you also get digital camo patterns on the bumpers and fender flares. It looks like it's had a lift, and it has. It's a lift of 0.9 inches, so let's just say 1 inch. That's about 23 millimeters. It's got matte black 18-inch wheels, so smaller wheels with all-terrain tires. Much better tires if you want to do some occasional off-roading, driving on sand, etc. That's what I do. I drive on sand a little bit. Other highlights: red tow hooks, exclusive colors, ultimate red and cosmic blue pearl, and it has dual motors, of course, long range battery, dual motor. This is kind of a cool car. I like the XRT. Anyway, you've also got H-Tex upholstery on the backrest, badging saying it's special. I don't know why they bother with this stuff. I don't think it matters, but anyway, it's also got a black headliner and all-weather floor mats. All-weather floor mats, you want those. I have those in my cars. If you've got kids, you need all-weather floor mats. Besides the trim, it's got larger, all models of the Ioniq 5, right? Not just the XRT, but all models get bigger capacity batteries. The standard range variant is now a 63 kilowatt hour battery. It used to be 58, so it's gone up in size by about 10% bigger. That'll increase the range from 220 miles, which is, in my opinion, not enough. That's 354 kilometers. Range will now be 240 miles, which is 386 kilometers. That's on the EPA cycle. WLTP, it will get a bit more range than that, probably just over 400 kilometers. The long range variant, in my opinion, is the one you want to go for. I don't recommend the short range variant for anyone. To be honest, I just think it's not worth doing that. I think you're better off paying a little bit more, getting the long range battery. It's much bigger. It's gone from 77.4 kilowatt hours to 84. So also a 10% increase in size. Range therefore goes up to 300 310 miles, which is 500 kilometers. That's for the rear-wheel drive variant. That's EPA. WLT, the range is closer to about 530 kilometers. All-wheel drive is less range. It's got around 280 miles of range, which is 451 kilometers. But in the real world, I think it might get more range than that. From what I've been seeing, WLTP is closer to 480 kilometers. That's for the all-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive, of course, most range, 310 miles WLTP. That's pretty close to real world. I think you're going to get that in the real world, 310 miles. Batteries and charging. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 has, of course, very fast charging, 350 kilowatt charging. Doesn't charge as fast as some cars though in the real world. In the real world, the G6, which has Xpeng G6, which has slower charging, technically a slower peak charging rate, actually charges significantly faster. But anyhow, the Hyundai Ioniq 5 is one of the first vehicles, I believe it's actually the first Hyundai to come with a NACS port for Tesla chargers. That's the North American Charging Standard port. That means you can use Tesla Supercharger network without an adapter, and you can also still continue to use a CCS charger. You will need an adapter though for the CCS charger, but considering, I think, the vast majority of good fast chargers in America use NACS now, that would be probably a positive. The Ioniq 5 2025 model will arrive in dealerships in the US, but these specifications are relevant as well to Europe, and they're relevant to Australia, and those new models are now available, as in right now. I believe now you can order one of these in America. I know you can order them in Australia, and I believe in Europe you can as well. That's the biggest difference with the new Ioniq 5 versus the old model. Prices seem pretty similar. So if you can get one in the United States, right, and you qualify for the EV incentive, you can get the new model. If you can get it for the same price as the old model, I recommend getting it. I think it's a really good car. However, here's the problem. Do you wait for the new Model Y Juniper? Do you wait and see how good it's going to be? Will it have the new CATL Shensing Plus battery or the Chillin 2.0 battery? If it does, the standard model will get more range. What will be the upgrades, charging speed? What are the differences going to be? It could be a game changer. I don't know. I probably would hold off if I was in the US. If I was in the US, I'd probably hold off, wait for the new Model Y Juniper. Now, if I'm in Australia, different story. I've obviously ordered an Xpeng G6 just because it's much better value than the Ioniq 5, and it is. It's about $60,000 for a vehicle with more range, similar charging speed, and it's bigger. It's a bit bigger than an Ioniq 5, so it's more suitable for me. Now, if that doesn't matter to you, if you don't have kids, it doesn't matter to you, then this is a good car. But to me, the price is the issue. This is, like I said, it's about $10,000 more for a similar vehicle if you want the Ioniq 5 versus the G6, and that's where I think the G6 for me is better value, which is the reason I'm getting that. But I still really like this car, and if you were to buy one of these, I wouldn't criticize you. I think it's a really nice car. There are some cars where I'd be like, you bought that? Why? I mean, for example, would you buy... Here's an example. Some people say on Facebook, oh, I bought a German car. I wouldn't buy a South Korean or Chinese car. I bought a BMW iX3. It's made in China, guys. It's not a better car. This is better than an iX3. There's no question about that. So if that's your comparison, go for the Hyundai or the Hyundai, depending on where you're from. Thanks for watching.